Happiness lies in the ability to find serenity in the face of things we cannot control. Epictetus, a historical philosopher, had a powerful and incredible motto: act as if nothing affects you, and you will become invincible. This thought comes from great historical thinkers like Epictetus, Cicero, Marcus Aurelius, among others. It carries a profound wisdom that can transform our approach to challenges and adversities that arise throughout our lives. During the course of our lives, we encounter many problems we have to deal with, and this can disturb our tranquility. We can become restless, anxious, or angry, causing things we do not to go as expected. Because of this, we harm our relationships and have to deal with guilt or regret that arises after inappropriate behavior. It's likely that in your lifetime, you'll have to apologize many times. Having self-mastery is truly crucial. It's difficult to remain calm, to act as if nothing affects us, but the benefits brought by indifference and mastery in the face of life's various circumstances are indispensable. Acting as if nothing affects us doesn't imply denying our emotions or having insensitive apathy. On the contrary, it's about recognizing that most of what happens to us is completely beyond our control. Instead of being swept away by life's waves, we can cultivate an inner strength that makes us invincible in the face of life's external variables. By adopting this perspective, we begin to understand that our emotions and reactions are determined by our own beliefs and perspectives. We cling to the idea that certain events or situations are essential for our happiness. We become vulnerable and fragile in the face of life's ever-changing situations. However, if we learn to separate happiness from external circumstances and focus on cultivating inner virtue, we become invincible and free in the face of any challenge we encounter. In this video, I will present some benefits of being indifferent to life's circumstances. Acceptance and peace of mind. Mental peace and serenity are two concepts that go hand in hand in Stoicism. Acceptance implies recognizing and embracing reality as it is, without resistance or internal struggle. This teaches us to let go of expectations and desires that keep us tied to a specific outcome and prevent us from properly enjoying the present moment. By accepting uncontrollable circumstances and events, we free ourselves from unnecessary suffering and open ourselves to the possibility of finding inner peace. Mental peace, in turn, is the result of acceptance and focusing on what is truly within our reach. By letting go of concerns about the past or the future and concentrating on the here and now, we find a tranquility that transcends external situations. Inner peace arises when we learn not to cling to thoughts and emotions that disturb us, but rather to observe them from a distance and allow them to disappear. This allows us to develop an attitude of calm and balance, even in the face of the difficulties we encounter in life. By learning to let go of the uncontrollable and cultivating an attitude of serenity, we free ourselves from the stress and anxiety that often accompany resistance and detachment. We pave the way for the wisdom that true happiness doesn't lie in changing external circumstances, but in changing our own perspective and attitude toward them. Ultimately, serenity and mental peace led us to a fuller, more meaningful life filled with harmony and prosperity. It's emotional freedom. Emotional freedom is a state where we don't allow external situations to define our state of mind. As mentioned earlier, in order to achieve happiness, we find strength and inner stability within our own being. By freeing ourselves from everything external, we become more autonomous and capable of making decisions based on reason and wisdom. Cultivating emotional freedom prevents us from being swept away by the constant waves of our emotions. We're not subject to the fluctuations of life or the opinions and actions of others. Instead, we're able to maintain an inner stability that allows us to face challenges with a calm mind. This doesn't mean we don't experience emotions. Rather, we're conscious of them and able to handle them in a healthy and constructive way. We don't let ourselves be carried away by emotional impulses or reactivity. Instead, we're aware of our own judgment and reason, allowing us to respond appropriately and balancedly. By having emotional freedom and freeing ourselves from uncontrolled emotions that arise unexpectedly, we create room to cultivate a healthy emotional life. Focusing on what's important to us is a fundamental practice in life in general. By recognizing that we can't control everything and directing our attention to what's within our reach, we eliminate wasted energy on things that may seem unnecessary to ourselves. Instead of worrying about what's beyond our control and focusing on cultivating virtue, nurturing significant relationships, and working on our personal goals, we become disciplined individuals. This focus on what's important allows us to make the most of our resources and use our skills and talents effectively by concentrating on actions that bring us closer to our personal goals. We open up space to feel a sense of purpose and accomplishment, finding a sense of direction and coherence throughout our lives, empathy and compassion for others. Emotional indifference in Stoicism doesn't imply a lack of empathy for others. Rather, it's an attitude of detachment from our emotions and expectations. By freeing ourselves from our own desires and needs, we cultivate a greater ability to focus on others and practice genuine compassion. We become more capable of offering support, understanding, and consolation to those around us. Since our attention and energy aren't solely focused on our own selfish interests, emotional indifference allows us to approach others with more openness and to be more compassionate individuals. We recognize the fact that we all face challenges, suffer, and experience emotions, whether negative or positive. By practicing empathy for others from a historical perspective, we connect with the world and recognize that we're all vulnerable and subject to unknown events that we may face in our lives. We become a source of support, offering comfort to those going through difficult times. By releasing our emotions and expectations, we're better able to respond in a wiser and more compassionate way to the needs of others, building deeper, more meaningful, and prosperous relationships based on understanding and generosity. We become wiser individuals by cultivating an unwavering attitude through Stoicism, opening doors to greater wisdom and self-transcendence. This philosophy of life invites us to transcend our individual limitations and expand our consciousness toward a broader connection with the world and the universe itself. As we cultivate our wisdom through Stoicism, we become more aware of our responsibility and the impact of our choices on ourselves, others, and the environment. We become more reflective, considering the long-term consequences of our actions and decisions. We become more complete and conscious beings, recognizing our interconnectedness with the world. We strive to live more authentically and virtuously, generating a positive impact on our surroundings, inspiring others, and contributing wisdom to ourselves and others as well. If we don't adopt a historical attitude of acting with indifference, we may face several disadvantages in our daily lives, such as emotional vulnerability, loss of freedom and authenticity, difficulty in making rational decisions, and dependence on external circumstances, among many others. And various other disadvantages can significantly negatively impact our quality of life. To find lasting peace and happiness, although making any change is difficult, always remember that everything is a gradual process. Just as maintaining a change for a long time may sometimes result in setbacks, we should never forget to pick ourselves up and move forward without giving up. This video has helped you to understand a little more about Stoicism. I look forward to your response in the comments. Here I present 2 more videos full of historical wisdom. Until next time.